Okay. Since the last vlog, I just like, vlogging's become really helpful. It's become like a way to bring awareness to myself of where I'm at and like to gain a tiny bit of. It's like, I don't really know what I'm gonna say or where I'm at until I've said it, and externalizing it helps me to see clearer where I'm at and what I'm going through, what I'm feeling. So then I was like, okay, well, I'm clearly very stressed by having to rest and feeling like nothing I do is ever enough and nothing I do will ever be fucking enough and like all of this jazz. So then I nope, don't mind me. So then I thought about that and I vlogged. And the other one, I journaled, which I would say helps in a different way. It's like it feels a bit like I don't know. It feels more like it emotionally decompresses me, I guess. They're both like output feeling, and it helps. And they're both kind of clarifying and externalizing, but in different ways. So anyway, then I journaled, and I journaled that I had done this vlog and was like, I feel exhausted and burnt out, and like nothing I'm doing is ever enough. And then I was like, what would enough look like? So I wrote down, what would enough look like? Enough. For fuck's sake, I can't stop laughing at this. And I didn't know I'd have an answer, but once I wrote it down, I just immediately had an answer. And I started writing, and I was like, oh, well, what enough would look like is obviously I know what enough would look like. Enough would look like traveling the world and changing it place by place to be more trauma informed and aware and healing and thriving as a system as we go, with a flourishing art career and dabbling in dog training for our dogs while keeping up a flawless social life and spending hours zooming our friends, vlogging, journaling, gaming with Ryan, and talking to Ryan throughout all of the above. Duh, like chronically, every minute, obviously, and learning to play the piano, cook, dance, sing, and create system comics and rest. All right then, like, but that is achievable. That's physically, humanly possible. That's within the scope of something that everyone could achieve, much less me with all my chronic fucking trauma and health issues. Like, fuck. So, I was looking at it going, well, that's not fucking possible. And then I thought about it as well, and I was like, a lot of like the .exe that runs with trauma, I've noticed, is like it just I just feel that way, and it tries to apply itself to something in the current moment. To It's like my rational mind tries to come up with why I feel this way, and it's like it fits situations and evidence to match what's going on, rather than recognizing that what's going on is just like a default feeling that I'm left with because of the trauma. So it applies it to things in the moment, which means it's not actually about things in the moment. So I was thinking about this and I was like, if I was able to actually do all of those things every day, like if it was possible, would I still feel like I hadn't done enough? And I think so, yeah. I think I'd still get to the end of the day and I'd still feel like, because that feeling is just there. And like if our minds try to justify or rationalize what we're experiencing, they try to do it in a way that makes sense. So I'm gonna look at what I'm doing and be like, oh, I feel like I haven't done enough, obviously, because I'm not doing enough. Look at my actions. But like, even if my actions matched up to my way too high tiered criteria of what enough would look like, I think my brain would just move the goalposts on what enough looks like. Because that feeling is still there, so it still needs to rationalize why it's there. So I think like becoming aware of the fact that, you know, okay, what I consider to be enough is like clearly just a little bit fucking extreme. And then the fact that I think even achieving all of that wouldn't actually feel like I was doing enough. Like being aware of those things kind of helped a bit. And then I also wrote down whoa, okay, we're doing like where is it? Oh, that's the next bit. So first I wrote down okay, so that's not physically possible. And so maybe let's think about what we are doing now and what I am accomplishing. Like what are my accomplishments? So I went back to the beginning of this book. This one's only been going for 6 days, and I read through every page of what we'd done. Like fucking hell, holy shit! Like the amount of really serious, massive life events and traumas that we're processing, of different ones as well, and like things that other people in here are doing. Like at the beginning of the week, we watched the Infinity Systems video series on denying DID, and I've noticed since then that I've been like putting every bit of effort into fighting the denial and giving people in the system other space to front and like doing all this work, and like just there's so much. And then there's like the day-to-day trying to keep up with exercise and vitamins and eating healthy, and like all of those types of self-care are not easy to do in the first place. And like man, so I read through everything we'd done and I was like, okay, fuck, we're doing way more than enough. We're doing like enough times 1,000. We're doing so much. We could be doing far less and we would still be doing way more than enough. So that was like eye-opening. I would recommend. Also, I asked one of our awesome friends the other day how, like, well, she said she's going to write down what she could see we were doing. Man, I'm going to print it out and stick it on my fucking wall because this is like fucking insane how much shit I'm doing. So, for feeling like nothing you're doing is enough, and for feeling like nothing you're doing is ever going to be enough, I would recommend all of these sort of journal exercises, I guess. And if you keep a journal, you know, going back through them. If you don't keep a journal, maybe looking back through a calendar or like a phone calendar just to see if you can recall from events that have happened what happened that day. Bit more difficult with dissociative amnesia, which is why journaling is so helpful. There was so much shit in here that I'd forgotten I did that I was like amazed to rediscover. Maybe if you vlog, watching back a couple of old vlogs from like recent days. If you are a system, maybe asking people in your system what they see you doing and what they see as accomplishments you've had over that week, because I feel like other people in here have a much clearer external perspective on what I've been doing than I do. Like you can't see it from in it. And asking friends around that know you well what you've been doing, like listening to Ryan tell us that what we've done is we've been doing is so much. Like it all helps me to see, like I can piece it together. It's like I'm invisible from here, but I can piece together mirror reflections of what I'm doing and see it through recordings, journals, other people's view and perspectives, inside and outside the system. Those Fox sticky note things with stars on, so I can see how many stars are on them and stuff. Or all these ways of tracking accomplishments and progress so that I am able to acknowledge and celebrate them, I think really helps with feeling like nothing I'm doing is being enough. And then also acknowledging where my bar of enough is and where it might be a bit might be a bit much. And working on like toning that down. What was that? It might be. Is that a bit too? Fucking hell. All things I would recommend. I feel I feel a little bit blown away from all of this stuff now. I'm really tired. Again, more tired. So I would recommend those things. Okay. I need rest.